Welcome in, welcome in, welcome back to the Crypto Bully Bear channel where there's only fun decoding and no financial advice. And this brings me joy, joy the snowman. So, as I learned, Proton has consensus called snowman. Okay, look it up, do your own research, look it up. So let me get a little bit back into why I made this flip on XPR from XRP to XPR. Again, I am bullish on XRP. I just see something special in metal, and that's where I'm going. For now, I'll get back to XRP. I'm sure XRP ain't going anywhere anytime soon. And if it does, and if it rises, I'm ready with a bag on the side. That being said, let's get into it. So, thinking about Back to the Future, right? They talk about. All right, so I'm telling you that Elon is going to use Proton. Okay, why you think Apple is fighting with Elon for? The taxes. That's what they want you to think, the taxes. But I'm going to go a little bit deeper into this. As I did my research on Proton and metal, it seems like metal is trying to create the new crypto Apple Pay, but it's going to be called Metal Pay. So they're trying to make the new Apple for crypto, right? And I believe that Elon's going to use Proton. So if that is the case and Proton is creating the platform of Apple products, instead of being Apple Pay, it's called Metal Pay. And I believe that Elon is going to use this particular blockchain, then it makes sense that Apple wouldn't want to deal with Elon or Twitter, because Twitter and Elon is becoming a threat. As I can say, we know also that excuse me, that oh, I just lost my track of thought. I kind of lost what I was saying. But just to step back a little bit, so I believe Meadows kind of creating the Apple Pay for crypto. And I feel like Apple feels threatened from them. And that's why maybe they don't want Elon, or they don't want to deal with Elon because he's a threat to Apple. And I think that's why they're really beefing over there, is because Elon is looking to turn Twitter into the next WeChat, and he'll need payments because he'll be charging for things. And I believe that Proton will be one of the accepting payments, and what they'll be bringing to WeChat is something similar to Apple, and I feel like that's why Apple feels threatened. Now let's get a little bit into XPR. Now, I've been doing my research and stuff like that, and if you go back to the Simpsons episode, okay, and to the Elon Musk one, Lisa mentions Shelbyville in there. And there's another episode or somewhere else where I heard of Shelby. Now, Shelby, I connect that to the Mustang, right? Mustang with horses and stuff like that. Now, I'm going to get into it a little bit. Critical thinking for myself, okay? Back to the Future, the DeLorean was used. But before they used the DeLorean, they were going to use a Mustang. Okay, they were going to use the Mustang first, but then they changed it. They flipped it to the DeLorean. Okay, they were going to use XPR first, and then they changed it to XRP. That's the way I'm seeing things. I'm not saying I'm correct. I'm just breaking it down in my head. Okay, my version. And I know you're going to be like, well, why are you connecting Shelby and horses with XPR? Well, if you remember the New Titan 888, I did a video on this also, but if you watch New Titans 888, he did a video on XPR, the oil, right? Extreme Performance Racing Oil. It's a synthetic oil. That oil bottle fitted perfectly with the Simpsons episode of The Big Bang residuals from the Bitcoin episode. Now, I did notice there's a lot of interviews and stuff like that I looked at, that I noticed there was horses in the background, either a horse statue or a horse picture or something like that. Now let's get a little bit critical thinking. So Back to the Future one, they said they wanted to use a Mustang. right? And I think of Shelby the horse. Then in part 2, Biff was rich, right? Biff, he went back and got the almanac. He was this big guy. He had Pleasure Island or whatever the hell was going on over there. But do you remember how Biff won his $1 million? He won his $1 million during a racehorse. During a racehorse. So why do I think racehorse? Because when I think of horses, I think of horsepower. Okay? And when I think of horsepower, I think of oil. And if I think of horsepower, I think of extreme racing horsepower. So with extreme racing, you need that synthetic oil. Right? Now, I broke down Back to the Future 1, how they were going to use the Mustang, but they flipped it to DeLorean. Back to the Future 2, they show you how Biff won in the racehorse. There's horses again. Part 3, Back to the Future, with cowboys and Indians, bringing you back to 1885. 1885, as you can know, there's 88 there again. What do we got? We got horses. So now, we're going off the snowman consensus, and let's go to, and let's show you now. Let's go to the horses, okay? This is Back to the Future 3, where they took the, they stole the train. Marty and Doc is on the train. They needed the train to push the DeLorean up to 88 miles per hour in order to time travel, because back then there was no gas stations. Okay? If you can see, actually, and I don't even ask me, I just happened to pause it on here, and I just noticed these colors. If you can see, there's light purple and green and white. You can see that. And look at the horse, just the horse's face. Now, the lady on the horse, that's Clara Clayton. Clara Clayton. Clara Clayton represents Proton. Listen, I'm not going to fight with anybody. I'm telling you that that's what I believe. She is representing Proton there. She has purple. And I'm going to show you something here. See how he says, before we hit 88 miles per hour. Okay. Now, watch this. Watch when she touches the train. XPR touches the train, and then explosion happens. You see that? Okay, she is XPR, representing XPR, and the train exploded. See that 33 on there? Then let me see if I could show something here. I gotta block this, because then they're gonna give me a copy strike. I'm trying to show you something here. Hold on a second. Okay. Now, you see, there's XPR. Now, I want you to go and look at Proton Lone. And look at this symbol here. It could represent this exactly. I just found that pretty interesting that she touches it. And this sign here kind of looks like the Proton Lone. I know some of you guys can say, yeah, it looks like XRP as well, too. Yeah, can be. But critical thinking, I am going to say that this is a sign of Proton Lone. This is Proton Lone. Fractionals, like I told you, this is why the pieces of wood in this one. And they decoupled from the long wood. If you notice, if you go back to where they took this train from, you'll notice that the carts that was connected to it had long stumps of wood, and this had pieces of wood, fractional pieces of wood. So again, I showed you, when she touches that train, it explodes and it takes off. And it takes off and it takes off. And there's the lone symbol. I believe that that's the lone symbol. Just find it funny that the symbol's right here. So you guys scratches your head and why the hell this guy's bugging? I'm tripping, right? And maybe I am tripping. But when I see shit like this and I go back and I study stuff, as you can see also, there's the pyramid shapes. So then I'm going to show you at the end what colors come off the train, because if you watch, colors come off this. I mean, the smoke from the train, there's different colors of the smoke. So let's see. Let's see. That's going up. And then you see see some of the train. It turns green, and then it has a little pinkish. So let me show you. Hold on, let me show you when it comes off. Now here, I got a little Easter egg for you over here. Here's the DeLorean. They're running out of the track. Track ends 1/4 mile. Don't you find this interesting here? Now, let's get to my critical thinking right now. Let's get on your thinking caps. Track ends in 1/4 mile. Right? When did XRP take over Bitcoin? When did XRP hit its all-time high? When did Stellar hit its all-time high? And if I'm not mistaken, I think Proton, I got to double check, but I can't double check because I don't got another phone. But I'm going to say, I think Proton, I'm not sure. But I know definitely XRP and XLM, January 4th, the track ends for Bitcoin. Here, yeah, the track ends here. Oh, they're talking about that. That's fine, but I'm going to add my own little twist to this. And I believe that Bitcoin, the track ends for Bitcoin on January 4th. And funny enough, January 4th, XRP took first place over Bitcoin, over Ethereum for a few minutes, and then it fell down. And funny enough, if anybody, you can find it. I've been trying to go to CoinMarketCap. I can't find it on my phone. It looked like it got erased somehow. But I was showing that Bitcoin, XRP, they showed that XRP actually took over for a few minutes, and I can't remember the time frame when it was. But I asked a few people to look on their computers to see if they can pull it up on CoinMarketCap, and they can't. They can't pull up the actual screenshot or a picture showing XRP in first place. I just found that funny. But this, I found that funny as well, the track end. So I wonder if Bitcoin has always been number one. And then the track ended on January 4th. So just found that funny. That was a little Easter egg I wanted to throw in. I was going to do my own little video, but since we're on this same shit, let's just go through. All right. That's Proton there. Look at the colors off the smoke of the car. So let's see. Watch the colors. See that purplish color? We got that purple color. Somebody pointed it out to me, and I was like, brilliant. Brilliant. Come on. Let's see this. The Phoenix rising. Where is it? There it is. The Phoenix rising. You heard it. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if you know Gematria, you go into Gematria, and I had 2 other people do it for me. Type in any cryptocurrency coin in Gematria and see if you get the Phoenix rising. See if you get the Phoenix rising, and then get back to me, please, on this video. Okay? Because me and my crew and the source that I have, we checked it out. And Proton is the only cryptocurrency coin that comes up as the Phoenix rising. As I showed you, I believe the lady was representing Proton, wearing the purple outfit. As you can see, the purple smoke was on the train when it fell off the tracks. And then you heard, go back and listen to it. You hear when the train crashes and all the smoke comes up, you can see a little rocket come up, and you can hear, that's the Phoenix rising. All right? Again, I told you guys, I called out Taylor Swift before Joe Katz, David Schwartz talked about Taylor Swift. Everybody laughed. I talked about, and I showed you, Elon Musk was made to take on Twitter. And I told you about 2 weeks ago, and it came out 3-4 days ago. So yeah, people tell me I'm ahead of my time. People laugh. I laugh because I think it's funny too. But as you can see, I am ahead of my time. Like I said, I showed you Elon before the news showed you Elon. I talked about Taylor Swift before David Schwartz talked about Taylor Swift. And I also did a video, I'm going to go back and see, but I also did a video on The Simpsons because they have these in between scenes, the couch gags and stuff like that, where there's a leprechaun and an Easter bunny fighting. That's March into April. What have we been talking about? We've been talking about overseas going live with the ISO 222 going live March time, April time. So I think that video, I must have been ahead of my time as well too. Anyway, thank you for liking, watching, and subscribing. And that is another part on why I switched from XRP to XPR. Again, you can bet against me. I'm not telling you to buy anything. I'm not telling you to gamble. I'm just showing you stuff, leading you to places so you can do your own research, because I'm a kid that just invests off cartoons and movies. I don't really go behind the white paper. I don't look at charts because I think charts are full of shit. Chart is another thing that they have you believing, this formula and that formula will, give you this number of the price of a coin. And I just think with Tickle Me Elmo type theory, you can have Tickle Me Elmo was selling in the stores for $20, but people were paying up to $2,000 for these particular things. Anyway, anything else I want to say? Maybe I'll make another part 3. Or part 4. Who knows at this point. But that's it for this video. Thank you for liking, watching, subscribing. And that is another reason why I am in love with XPR, metal blockchain, and other metal products. Thank you.